It is often assumed that thought precedes action. If so, rational actions should be preceded by rational thoughts. So the most appropriate actions must be to master our emotions. When we feel poverty, think of wealth. If you're feeling uninspired, think of your goals and let the right actions follow. Hi there, I'm Arroyo Eubanks. Welcome to this edition of Jamaica Magazine. Coming up in our program, Health Ministry creating systems of excellence for the delivery of quality healthcare, plus controlling the mosquito population. Stay with us for our top news stories of the week and more. It's all on the other side of this break.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
It is said that our health is our wealth. And in recognition of this, the government is steadfast in its objectives this year to provide every Jamaican with access to quality, affordable health care as it advances Jamaica's national development goal for a stable, healthy, productive population. Learn more in this feature.
A healthy and productive population will enable Jamaica to meet its development goals, and the Ministry of Health is working to advance this mission during the 2014-2015 fiscal year.
Our objective is to develop a patient-centered healthcare system that can serve the needs of all the local population and also as well as a global clientele.
A patient-centered healthcare system cannot develop without the proper infrastructure, so an implementation strategy for primary healthcare renewal is being developed to strengthen the health systems. $268 million has been identified to fund the second phase of works on the 4 centers of excellence. Financing options are being examined for a feasibility study on the construction of a child and adolescent hospital in Western Jamaica. And a plan is being crafted to develop the corridor from Negril to St. Anne for health tourism and to provide trauma care services for foreign nationals. To improve patient care in public facilities, the ministry is creating a comprehensive national health information system. As part of that, work on an e-health strategy has started. Meanwhile, a pilot electronic patient administrative system (EPAS) is being rolled out in the 4 centers of excellence and at 4 regional hospitals. And distribution of the new GOJ health card, which was launched in January 2014, will expand to allow for linkages with the EPAS.
For the first time, we'll be able to track patients through the health system no matter which facility they visit. We'll be able to improve operational efficiency, the collections of fees from persons with private health insurance, and reduce wastage, especially in the way we dispense medication.
Full introduction and use of the GOJ health card in all public health facilities is expected by the end of the financial year in March 2015. Pharmaceutical and dental care are also getting the government's attention this fiscal year. Takeover of public health pharmacies by the National Health Fund, the NHF is moving ahead, bringing major improvements to service delivery, while several pharmacies are being renovated.
The transfer of human resources in process, Mr. Speaker. We are revolutionizing pharmacy service in Jamaica to be technology-driven, customer-focused, efficiently managed. And that this country, Mr. Speaker, this is a service that the country has yearned for.
Meanwhile, regulations are being developed to ensure only licensed practitioners can own and operate dental surgeries and laboratories. And the administration wants to make continuing education mandatory for all categories of dental professionals. The Health Ministry is implementing a program for the reduction of maternal and child mortality with $2.6 billion in funding from the European Union. The 4-year program will establish and equip maternal and newborn high dependency units.
The aim is to reduce maternal and child deaths in keeping with Jamaica's commitment under the Millennium Development Goals.
Guided by the National Plan for the Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases in Jamaica, the ministry is employing strategies to reduce the major risk factors for NCDs.
Jamaicans need to understand that NCDs are largely preventable. They are, for the most part, driven by widespread exposure to 4 common behavioral risks: tobacco use, unhealthy diet, physical inactivity, and the harmful use of alcohol.
So, the ministry will be scaling up its community health aid program in collaboration with the NHF to get greater response at the community level. There's also a partnership with the Education Ministry to reintroduce compulsory physical education in schools. To promote proper nutrition habits, the ministry is partnering with the food industry to put proper labeling standards in place and provide better information on portion size.
Cabinet has already approved the infant and young child feeding policy, and the food-based dietary guidelines for Jamaica has been developed and is being pre-tested, Mr. Speaker. The National Food and Nutrition Security Policy, done in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture, has been fully debated in this Honourable House.
Meanwhile, various stakeholders are being consulted on a national alcohol policy, and a national coordinating mechanism is to be established to create a comprehensive Tobacco Control Act. In this fiscal year, the Health Ministry is also looking to improve Jamaica's response to cancer and HIV/AIDS. Dialogue is being advanced with the International Atomic Energy Agency for the reintroduction of the nuclear medicine technology to diagnose and treat cancers. Tracing and monitoring of cancers will be done using the established National Cancer Registry. And systems of cancer care, emergency pre-hospital care, trauma and emergency medicine, and chronic disease management will be developed through a partnership with the Sunnybrook Health Science Centre out of Canada.
The Ministry of Health is procuring 2 linear accelerator machines. The introduction of the linear machine should reduce the cost for a full course of radiation treatment from $1.8 million to $0 for the poorest and most vulnerable Jamaicans.
Meanwhile, to ensure greater care for persons living with HIV/AIDS, the National Family Planning Board is being integrated with the National HIV/STI program. The Ministry of Health on a mission to provide quality, accessible health care for all.
Life is all about making decisions, choosing from a number of options to do a particular thing, which may result in a specific outcome.
It can be difficult, but there are 4 things you can do to help make that decision.
Stop.
Check out what's happening and remind yourself to think before acting.
Think. Make sure you're aware of the choices, all the advantages and disadvantages. Then think about the consequences. Act.
Choose the best option and do something about it.
Review.
Finally, review what you have done and determine if it was good or bad. That way, you'll be in a better position to make the next decision, whether big or simple.
The National Water Commission (NWC) is now on a drive to rapidly fix leaks affecting the water distribution systems across the island. 2 leak hotlines have been established. Report leaks by calling 733-5655 and 733-5656. You may also send a text to 838-LEAK, that is 838-5325. Remember that a little effort will make a big difference. Be a leak detective. Conserve on water today.
Disease prevention and control is everybody's business. These days, the chikungunya virus has become a cause for concern. It's transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, the same type that transmits dengue fever. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone by being vigilant and taking precautionary measures. Take a look at what you need to do in this next feature.
Hello? Hello?
Yes? May I help you?
Good day, ma'am. We're from the Public Health Department, Ministry of Health. We're in the community to get rid of mosquito breeding sites.
Mosquito breeding site? Not in this yard. We don't have any mosquito breeding here.
Well, actually, I see several containers on a whole tire over there that could possibly be the breeding site for mosquitoes. Possibly the Aedes aegypti mosquito, the one that causes dengue fever.
What? Aedes aegypti? Are you trying to tell me that the mosquito that you claim are in my yard are from Egypt in Africa?
No, ma'am. The mosquitoes are not from Egypt in Africa. That's just the scientific name. The important thing you need to know that if these mosquitoes bite us, they can make you get sick. We just want to make sure you and your family are safe.
All right, come in and look.
Miss Nancy.
Oi!
Please come here. You have some mosquito breeding in those containers over there and inside this drum.
Where are the mosquitoes you say you see here?
Look inside the drum. Those are the Aedes aegypti larvae, the one that causes dengue fever. If all of these larvae mature to be adults, and if the female larva bites someone with the dengue fever, it will acquire the dengue virus. And if that mosquito bites you, you will get it.
Dengue fever?
So why you look so? You never heard about dengue before?
Yes, they were telling us about it on radio and television last week. They say it's very dangerous, can cause death.
Well, actually, most forms are fairly mild. But you can die from dengue fever, especially if you get the dengue hemorrhagic fever.
Dengue hemorrhagic fever?
Or worse, dengue shock syndrome.
Oh. So, what can we do to get rid of this?
First of all, let's just get rid of all of these containers and mosquito breeding sites.
All right, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Come, let's clear out, clear up.
Now, you see this drum of water? There are several things you can do to prevent mosquitoes from breeding inside there. First thing you want to do, if you want to keep the water, you have to keep the drum closed.
Oh, You're telling me that I must always buy drums with cover?
Yes, it's very important to have drums with cover. That not only prevents mosquitoes from breeding inside, but it also ensures that you keep your water clean for use.
You know, you're right. I'm going to have to tell my friend Nettie about the same thing because she have a whole heap of drum over her yard without cover.
The Health Ministry is making every effort to reduce the mosquito population in Jamaica, but we must play our part in supporting those efforts. With the full cooperation of everyone, there will be a significant reduction in the breeding of mosquitoes, and this will minimize the risk of diseases. Remember, prevention is always better than cure.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing D. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, sun-high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
Celebratory events for Festival 2014 provide cost-effective avenues for families and friends to enjoy themselves this summer without leaving a hole in their pockets. Take a look at these events and the prices that guarantee you'll find something to suit your taste.
Don't let money be the reason you miss out on this year's Jamaica Festival events, because the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission has you covered on the financial front.
We recognize the economic constraints, and so we have maintained the price for the past 2-3 years, just $1,000 for admission. And you can obtain your tickets at a pre-sold price at $900 at the JCDC and other outlets that will be published in the press.
Are you a public sector worker? You too are covered.
All public sector workers will be able to buy their tickets at $800. And these tickets will have to be purchased at the JCDC because persons will be required to show their ID or a pay stub or anything to identify them as a public sector worker. Tickets will also be available online at www.jcdcjamaica.com.
So grab your family and friends and go out and enjoy the celebrations, because this is Jamaica, or Jamaica.
On the board this week, the Tivoli Gardens High School alumni and friends presents the official launch of the Jeanette Grant Woodham Education Foundation under the distinguished patronage of the Most Honorable Edward Siaga on Monday, August 4 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Starting time is 7 p.m. Contribution $5,000. Proceeds are in aid of scholarships and educational grants for students of the Tivoli Gardens High School. Call 876-588-4543 or 646-239-3445 for more details. The Ministry of Youth and Culture and the Institute of Jamaica will be hosting another in its signature Conversations series for 2014 at the Institute of Jamaica Auditorium, 10 to 16 East Street in Kingston. Signature conversation will be held tomorrow, Sunday, July 27, and Sunday, August 10. The public is invited. The Edwin Allen High School will be having their 50th anniversary banquet at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on Wednesday, July 30. Guest speaker will be empowerment coach, author, and past student Alvin Day. Starting time 7 p.m. Send us your events for broadcast on the JIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868022 or send an email to cbishop@jis.gov.jm.
Parliament pays tribute to Sir Howard Cook and critical tax compliance legislation is passed. Those and other top news stories of the week are next.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Water Minister Robert Pickersgill addressed the nation this week on Jamaica's continued drought challenges and assured that government was taking action to cushion the effects.
We have redeployed 40 trucks, several of them to the most critical areas such as Clarendon and our breadbasket parish, St. Elizabeth, where farmers are reeling under the drought. These trucks will continue to service these areas until normal rainfall is restored. We have also provided an allocation to the parish councils and to the members of parliament to deal with the trucking of water.
He said the National Water Commission was also moving to rapidly fix leaks affecting the water distribution system and had established 2 leak hotlines and a text messaging service.
The leak hotline numbers are 733-5655 and 733-5656. The number for you to text to report leaks is 838-LEAK or 838-5325.
Groundbreaking legislation was passed in Parliament Tuesday to improve the lives of persons with disabilities in Jamaica.
It will pave the way for enhanced contribution to the society and economy of Jamaica by persons with disabilities, by ensuring that impediments to their full participation in society are completely removed.
Among other things, the Disabilities Act will establish the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities as a statutory body. The Act also seeks to ensure that employers do not discriminate against job applicants with disabilities and calls for buildings to incorporate facilities to accommodate them. Breaches of the Act will result in strong penalties for individuals and corporate bodies. Parliament also dealt with the important matter of improving tax compliance in Jamaica this week. On Wednesday, 2 critical pieces of legislation were passed, which are aimed at improving tax collection and addressing tax avoidance and evasion in the country.
There is a widespread, indeed an endemic culture of tax evasion and tax avoidance that has afflicted the country.
The additional provisions in the Tax Collection Miscellaneous Provisions Act include a requirement for all corporate bodies, including registered charitable organizations and other persons, to be prescribed to file tax returns. It also authorizes the Commissioner General of Tax Administration Jamaica to provide information to credit bureaus regarding taxes owed by persons.
The mechanisms, garnishment, publication, credit reporting, lien, etc., are tools of last resort. Even so, there is protection for the taxpayer.
The Tax Penalties Harmonization Act, meanwhile, calls for amendments to increase the penalties for breaches under the Education and Income Tax Acts. Minister of Youth and Culture Lisa Hanna has appointed a committee to review the operations of children's homes following an unauthorized sexual education program taught in 6 privately operated residential care facilities. The review committee, led by Chair of the Child Development Agency Advisory Board, Maxine Henry Wilson, is expected to provide a report to Minister Hanna in 3 weeks. The report compiled by the review committee will not only inform the ministry's treatment of the apparent breaches at the 6 homes, but will also also provide input for the review of the licensing regime for privately operated children's homes and places of safety. 3 new fire trucks have been commissioned into service to improve the capacity and response time of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Valued at $133 million, the fire trucks were handed over Monday by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development during a brief function at Jamaica House.
It's higher than the normal vehicle, and therefore will be able to go places where the regular ones can't. And it's not too big. It's 3,000-gallon capacity of water, and therefore it will have some amount of water to respond immediately to fires.
The units will be dispatched to fire stations in St. Andrew, St. Catherine and Clarendon. And finally, more than a dozen members of the Senate and House of Representatives this week paid tribute to the late former Governor-General Sir Howard Cook in a special joint sitting of the Houses of Parliament. They hailed the former politician and teacher as a man for the people, humble and a devout Christian with unremitting and infectious optimism.
He has given selfless service to our country, and it is difficult or impossible to replace an exemplary Jamaican such as Sir Howard.
He was always willing to lend a listening ear and give advice and direction when it was needed. To Lady Cook and members of his family, I say take courage in the knowledge that Sir Howard has served this country and his people well.
He demonstrated an unqualified belief in the capacity of his countrymen and women to excel. A tireless dedication to service and community building, and a burning passion for education and creative expression as pathways to liberation.
I am humbled as I am honored by the opportunity to salute in this place, the seat of our democracy, the life and work of one who led so admirably. Sir Howard was one who served graciously, impartially, conscientiously, and unceasingly.
Members of the legislature also observed a minute's silence in remembrance of the late head of state who died on July 11 at age 98. Sir Howard is to be accorded a state funeral on August 8 at the Holy Trinity Cathedral in Kingston starting at 10 a.m. Interment will follow at the National Heroes Park. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolfe.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice! High five! Woo!
A good education will never decay.
We're now at the close of Jamaica Magazine for today. Thanks so much for watching. It was good sharing this half hour with you. Join us again tomorrow for more. Tell us what you thought of the show. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or hit us up on Twitter @JISNews. And our website, jis.gov.jm, remains a constant portal for the very latest government information. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Arroyo Eubanks. Until next time, stay cool.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.